Neil was a bright student with big dreams, but inside his mind, a storm never stopped. Each time he sat to study, a flood of thoughts overwhelmed him. What if I fail? What if I forget everything? What if I disappoint everyone? The voices in his head wouldn't let him focus. He'd read one page 5 times and remembered nothing. The silence in his room was loud with mental noise. His chest tightened as doubt filled every space. His grades slipped. His confidence faded. One evening, he stared at his books and whispered, "Why is my own mind fighting me?" Neil's struggle deepened. Even when he wasn't studying, the noise followed him. At the dinner table, while watching TV, even while brushing his teeth, his thoughts never gave him peace. What if I'm not good enough? Echoed again and again. He tried listening to music, walking, even avoiding books altogether. But nothing worked. The anxiety wasn't just in his mind anymore. It reached his body. His stomach ached, his heart raced, and sleep became a nightly battle. His mom noticed the dark circles under his eyes. She asked, "Are you okay?" Neil nodded, but inside, he was breaking. One weekend, Neil visited his grandfather, a man whose presence felt like still water, steady and deep. As soon as Neil entered, his grandfather noticed the restlessness in his eyes. "What's weighing on you, my boy?" he asked, pouring him tea. Neil looked down and said quietly, "Grandfather, my mind is like a battlefield. Thoughts attack from all directions. I can't study. I can't think." His grandfather smiled softly. "Your mind isn't your enemy, Neil. It's loud because you never taught it to be quiet. Sit with me for a while. Let me show you something." They sat in silence as the clock ticked. Slowly, Neil's breath matched the rhythm of the moment. The stillness wasn't empty. It was alive. Then his grandfather whispered, "You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. Let's begin with that." His grandfather leaned back, eyes half closed. "Let me tell you something I heard long ago," he said. "A young sailor once sailed into open sea, proud and bold. But midway, dark clouds gathered. The winds screamed. Waves grew taller than trees." Neil listened as the room faded into the image of a tiny boat fighting a monstrous sea. "The sailor panicked," his grandfather continued. "He yelled, turned the wheel wildly, trying to outrun the storm. But the harder he fought, the more he lost control. One day, an old captain found him, trembling and soaked. The captain said, 'Storms are not beaten by rage, but by stillness. Drop the anchor, trust the boat, let the storm pass.'" Neil blinked. His grandfather looked him in the eye. "Your thoughts are waves, Neil. Don't fight them. Anchor your awareness and wait." Neil decided to try what his grandfather suggested. Each morning, he woke up a bit earlier, sat in silence, and simply watched his thoughts, like clouds drifting by. At first it was hard. The mental noise screamed louder, almost mocking him. "You're wasting time. You should be studying." But Neil kept sitting, breathing, and observing. He didn't push the thoughts away. He let them come, stay, and leave. Slowly, he noticed a shift. The thoughts still appeared, but they lost power. He felt like the sky, and the thoughts were just clouds, temporary and passing. For the first time, he wasn't drowning. He was aware, calm, and in control. As days passed, something shifted in Neil. When stressful thoughts came, he no longer fought them. He just watched, like a still lake reflecting passing birds. In class, he found focus returning. During exams, he felt present. His mind wasn't empty, but it was no longer in control. He began to understand. Peace isn't the absence of thought. It's not being dragged by it. One night, after studying, He looked at his books and realized he finally enjoyed learning again. He was no longer surviving the storm. He was learning to sail through it, steady and aware. That alone changed everything. One morning, Neil walked to class as clouds covered the sky. His mind whispered worries. What if today goes wrong? But this time he didn't panic. He let the thought pass like a breeze. He remembered his grandfather's words, "You are not the storm, you are the sky." That line changed everything. He repeated it quietly, "I am the sky." He realized thoughts will always come and go. But he didn't have to follow each one. He was larger than them. His awareness, his calm presence, that was his real power. The storm could roar, but he would remain still. As you finish Neil's journey, pause and listen. Not to the noise around you, but to the silence within. The same storm that once drowned him now flows around him. Why? Because he stopped trying to control it and started observing it. The thoughts still came, but they no longer defined him. Now ask yourself, are you reacting to every thought or calmly watching them pass like clouds across your sky? You are not your fears, not your doubts, not your mind's chaos. You are the calm watcher behind it all. Start today. Be the sky, not the storm.